jewelry or something
I wanted to start off with two really funny jokes that I had about marriage, and you'll enjoy them too. There was this lecture going on, and the speaker was saying how you should be, grateful to your wife. She does so much for you. She's been cooking for you for so many years. You never appreciate her, and as being good wives or future wives for men, you should always be grateful towards the things that they do for you. We take a lot of our spouses for granted. And so the man was all enthusiastic, and he heard this khutbah, and he went home, and his wife there was meal cooked, and he was smiling, and then his wife was just staring at him and saying and thinking, what's wrong with my husband? He's smiling when he's eating. And then and he was eating and smiling, and then he was like, oh, my dear wife, this is so delicious. You've never cooked this food so good. And she becomes angry, and the man is afraid. He was like, मैंने तो वही किया जो इमाम साहब ने कहा था. I did what he asked me to do. And then he looks at, and she gets angry, and she's like, the first time you say something good about my food is when the neighbor cooked it and sent it to us. You never said anything good, and now she cooks and then you say it. So, subhanAllah, we should appreciate our spouses and our parents and our siblings.
That is another key. That if something little good your husband does, don't feel shy or egoistic. Appreciate him. बहुत फर्क पड़ता है. मर्द बहुत कंजूस है.
जितना सर में चढ़ जाएगा तारीफ किया.
Allah will be happy with you, inshallah.
We do for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Do it for Allah.
Not for him. But
If you
do
for Allah, it will multiply in good effects.
Yeah.
Inshallah.
The other joke I wanted to say was, again, this other man. He was at this lecture where the imam was telling, be nice to your wives and take care of them and tell them how much you love them. And I love you is a very powerful word which we should not be shy to say to our parents, to our siblings, to our spouses. And so he comes home and he's all excited and he's like, darling, I love you, and I want to carry you. and he carries his wife and he's like, I love you, darling. And she's like, what happened today? Why are you so excited? The Imam Sahib said, carry your own burden. So
That's nice one.
Okay. Anyways, so the topic that Mama just told me to say a few words, but there is a concept which we are very lacking. Alhamdulillah, we do our prayers, and we should definitely do our 5 times prayers, and we do our zakat and our sadaqah and our fasting in Ramadan. But there is a concept of haya which is very lacking, and there are 2 forms of haya that I wanted to really quickly talk about. First, the haya which is most important. We think modesty. Haya means modesty. We think modesty in terms of how we dress, how we act towards, the opposite gender and things like that. But there is even a greater haya that we never think about, that we hardly ever think about, and that is haya towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What is haya towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? What is modesty towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? What is fear? So when you talk about haya towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is fear. It is a conscious understanding that Allah is always watching us. Now, imagine, I know you're all on Facebook. So most of us are. So you're on Facebook and you're chatting off with someone, and or whatever social media outlet you guys use, or if you're older and your parents and you're in gatherings where you're just talking to your friends. And for example, I'm just going to take an example of a young girl who's talking to a boy who she's not married to, and she's all excited about it, and she knows that her mom's going to come into the room, so she just minimizes the screen or closes it, and she's like, oh, thank God she didn't see me talking to that guy. But really, you were more afraid of your mother, but you were not afraid of Allah. So you knew that your mother would come and watch, and your mother would get upset. Or you do something when you're to your parents usually, and you're glad that your parents didn't see you wearing those clothes in school, or somebody in the community didn't see you with that guy in the mall on a date. But we're less afraid of what Allah is thinking of us. There are simple principles, guidelines of fear that we have to inbuilt into ourselves, and that can only come from 3 basic ways: loving the Quran, making it a part of your life, not just by reading it, but by absorbing what the Quran is trying to tell us. The second thing, increasing your good deeds in secret. We do a lot of good deeds that other people can see. You may think that, whoa, she wears a hijab, but really, honestly, how is she with her parents? How are your relatives ranking you? Are your relatives thinking you're really bad? How many times are you giving sadaqah without showing it off to people that you're doing that? How many orphans are you feeding? How many times at night are you waking up and doing tahajjud for only 2 rakat? So those are things. And the third thing is leaving sins. Until we leave sins, we are not able to remove the darkness in our heart. There are 2 ayats that I really wanted to quickly share, inshallah. The first one was Surah Baqarah, ayat 115. To Allah belongs the east and the west. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, to Allah belongs the east and the west. So whichever way you turn, there is the face of Allah. Indeed, Allah is all-embracing, all-knowing. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, everything you look at belongs to Allah. Whatever face you turn, even if it's that minimizing of the screen, Allah is there. Allah is watching you. Indeed, Allah is all-embracing, all-knowing. So the other one, which I really like, is Surah Al-Mulk, ayat number 12. Surely for those who have awe, so fear of their Lord without seeing Him. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, surely, for sure, and Allah is in a way promising this, for those who have fear of Allah without seeing Him. So those who have Hayaa of Allah SWT, without knowing that, Allah is looking at me this time, there is forgiveness and a big reward. How do we, and Allah, so Allah is saying that whatever sins you have done, I will forgive you, and there is a big reward, and inshallah, it is in both worlds. So we need to really embrace this concept of haya and understanding that even if it's just the outer thing, but it's really the inner thing, how we have to know that Allah is watching. We're not going to miss our prayers. We're going to do it on time. Inshallah, we're going to make every single effort to be kind to our parents, to be better parents ourselves, inshallah, and to become better Muslims ourselves and increase our iman and our deen and our love towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so that we can fulfill the goal that we have in this life, which is to worship Allah and make that our goal, inshallah, to be able to get the reward of Jannatul Firdaus, inshallah, for the everlasting life, because this is very short. Jazakallah khair.